Hey guys, Figurecraft here, and today we're going to be doing the review video on the Titanic. So let me get this out of the way. Alrighty then. The first thing that it had us to do in shipment 16 was issue 87. And when we go to issue 87, that was basically putting a new metal section onto the hull of the ship, which is basically this red part of the bottom of the ship. And we had to put 2 LM screws in. And that was our first thing that we had to do in this shipment. Then when we got to issue 88, it was pretty much the same thing. Another new metal part of the hull of the ship was to be installed to the ship. So that would be this metal section right here with 2 LM screws right here, and then 4 more LM screws right here. So that was our next step to do, and that completed issue 88. And then when we got to issue 89, we basically put the entire big part of the ship out of the way. Let me get it out of the way. But we basically put the entire hull of the ship to the side, because we were done with it for right now, until we get our next shipment. And then we went to this. And the first thing that it had us to do, when we got to issue 89, was wooden decks. So it had us to put, this here, it had us to put this first piece of wooden deck on this side that went all the way up to about right here. And then it had us to put this other corresponding wooden deck that looked just like it on this side. I put my wooden decks down with Gorilla wood glue. And then after that, it had us to connect these two pieces together. So we basically connected the last piece onto this piece. And that gave us our complete bridge deck, or B deck. And that completed issue 89. Then when we got to issue 90 right here, it was details for the bridge deck. The first thing that it wanted us to do is to take these 2 metal pieces of support brackets and put those in place. So it was those metal support brackets first. Then after the metal support brackets, it was the set of stairs for the grand staircase right here. We had to put our next grand staircase in. Then after that, we then put the piece of wooden deck that went right here, which is a little piece of wooden deck, which is right there. And then another little piece of wooden deck right there that went back here. So we put that in. Then after all of that, it then focused their attention to windows. And there was a lot of windows to do, but not very many. So I'll try to turn this around and see the windows that it's talking about. So basically, if you can see down in there, all those windows that I have painted white had to be put on, and then these brown ones back here. And then we had to attach this bulkhead down with 4 AP screws to attach it down, and then 4 more AP screws to attach it to the wall. That was our next part to do. And then after all of that was done, it then had us to flip the deck upside down, like it usually always does. And then it had us to put this LED strip in here behind the stairs. And then that was the completed work for issue 90. When we got to issue 91, it was bulkheads for the bridge deck. So, picking up our bridge deck again, we're going to go to the other side this time. And the first thing that it had you to do was these windows right here, these 6 windows at the back. It had you to put those windows in first. And then after you done that, then you would basically screw this bulkhead down to the deck, basically screw it to the walls, and then screw it down to the floor. That would be your next section. And then it would have you to focus on this bulkhead right here, which would be putting in 4 more little windows on this bulkhead right here. Then you would take the connector pieces and screw 4 of those to the wall. And then you would put this piece down to the floor. And that's what it would have you to do next. And then after all of that was said and done, and you had all of that done, then it focused you on these 2 new little ventilation systems, these little ventilation ducts. So it had you to put these 2 little ventilator ducts down at the back of the ship. And then after you got that done, then you would once again have to flip upside down the bridge deck, or the B deck, whatever you want to call it. And then you would install this LED strip right here in front of the stairs. Then once that was done, that was the completed work for issue 91. When you got to issue 92, which is the last issue, this is bulkheads for the shelter deck. The first thing that it would have you to do is to take the shelter deck bulkhead, and then you would put these little grate windows. You'd put these little grate windows into the bulkhead, 4 of them. And then after you done that, I might as well go ahead and flip this upside down. Then you would take your connectors and attach your connectors to the wall of the bulkhead, 4 connectors. Then after you done that, then you would screw the bulkhead down to the deck and fully attach it. So right here, turn into the next page. You can see all the stuff that it would have you to do. And then once you got that connected down, then it would have you to flip up the deck once again, flip it upside down, and then you would install the final LED strip, which is right here at the end. And then after that, then it would have you to go through and connect all of your cables to their corresponding locations. And then you would do the testing of the LED lights to make sure they all worked. And mine works perfectly. And after you've got that done, then you were completed with the build for this shipment until we get our shipment 17. But this right here is how far we have made it now in the build. This is my whole entire B deck, bridge deck, whatever you want to call it. And then over here is our hull of the ship. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope y'all are doing safe during these troublesome times. And you all have a blessed one. And when I come back, we'll be doing the weigh-in video. But until then, goodbye.